He who engages you conquers you. Epictetus. What if I told you that some of the world's most successful billionaires quietly live by the same principles that Stoic philosophers taught over 2,000 years ago? That the calm, calculated decisions behind their empires aren't just luck. They're the result of timeless mental strategies that anyone can adopt. Imagine making choices with unshakable confidence, staying cool under pressure, and turning obstacles into opportunities, all while others panic or procrastinate. In this video, I'm revealing 5 Stoic secrets that billionaires still use today, secrets that can transform the way you think, act, and succeed in your personal and professional life. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're actionable strategies that can be applied immediately to take control of your mindset and your results. So stay with me till the very end. Each secret builds on the last, and missing even one could mean leaving a key to success on the table. By the time this video finishes, you'll see why ancient Stoic wisdom is not just history. It's a blueprint for modern wealth, power, and resilience. Number 1. Mastering emotional discipline. Controlling impulses and staying calm under pressure. Mastering emotional discipline is one of the most underrated powers you can cultivate, and yet it's the cornerstone of everything the most successful people achieve. Imagine this. A sudden crisis hits, a deal falls through, or a conflict erupts. Your first reaction might be anger, panic, or frustration. That's natural, but here's the truth. The moment you react impulsively, you lose control of the situation. Reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Controlling your impulses isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about choosing how you respond. It's about turning your attention inward, noticing the surge of emotion, and deciding deliberately how to act rather than letting the chaos dictate your behavior. When you train yourself to stay calm under pressure, you start making decisions from a place of clarity, not reactivity. You notice the difference immediately. Your mind becomes a steady anchor in turbulent waters. Opportunities that once seemed impossible to spot now come into focus because your emotional noise no longer clouds your judgment. You're able to listen, observe, and act in ways that move you closer to your goals. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Every billionaire, every top performer understands this intuitively. They know that their success is directly tied to their ability to manage their own inner state. The practice begins with awareness. Start small. When irritation rises or anxiety creeps in, pause, breathe deeply, ask yourself, what is within my control right now? You'll find that most of what triggers you isn't under your direct influence anyway, so why waste energy on it? Focus instead on your own choices, your own actions. Over time, this habit rewires your brain. Impulse control becomes second nature. You learn to respond instead of react. You stop being a slave to fleeting moods, and instead, you harness them, directing them toward constructive action. Another exercise is to journal your emotional responses. At the end of each day, reflect on moments when you lost your temper, panicked, or felt overwhelmed. Write down what happened, how you reacted, and how you could have responded differently. This simple act of reflection builds self-awareness and strengthens your emotional muscles. Eventually, you'll notice patterns. You'll see triggers before they strike. You'll start intercepting reactions midstream, choosing calm over chaos. Emotional discipline also affects how others perceive you. When you stay composed while everyone else is flustered, people naturally gravitate toward your steadiness. Your presence becomes magnetic. You inspire confidence, trust, and respect, which opens doors and creates opportunities that emotional volatility could never allow. And the best part, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. The more consistently you choose calm, the less often extreme emotions will hijack your decisions. So take control today. Begin by observing yourself, pausing before reacting and reflecting nightly. Practice deep breathing in moments of tension. Journal your responses. Remind yourself, as did, that the only true power you have is over your mind. Each moment you master your impulses, you're not just surviving, you're stepping into the kind of unshakable, resilient mindset that billionaires and extraordinary achievers use every single day. The calm you cultivate today is the foundation for every success, every decision, and every opportunity that will come your way. Number 2, practicing daily reflection, evaluating decisions and actions regularly. Imagine if every day you took just a few minutes to step back and look at your life with absolute honesty, not with judgment, not with guilt, but with clarity and purpose. That's the essence of daily reflection, and it's a secret that separates ordinary people from the kind of individuals who build empires, who make decisions with precision, and who live with unshakable control over their actions. One of the greatest Stoics wrote, "At the end of the day, don't forget to ask yourself, what good have I done today?" Reflection isn't merely asking questions. It's about evaluating your decisions, your reactions, your habits, and the alignment of your actions with your values. It's about noticing where you slipped, where you excelled, and where you can improve tomorrow. And here's the thing. This is a habit that billionaires, leaders, and high performers swear by. They don't just act. They observe themselves acting, constantly refining, sharpening, and redirecting their energy toward what truly matters. When you practice daily reflection, you start to catch patterns in your behavior. You see what triggers your frustration, what energizes you, and what leads to wasted time or lost opportunities. You become your own guide, your own mentor, your own compass. You start asking yourself questions like, did I act with intention today? Did I respond instead of react? Did my actions move me closer to my goals, or did they pull me off course? These questions sound simple, but when answered honestly, they wield extraordinary power. Reflection forces you to confront your weaknesses, but it also illuminates your strengths, helping you lean into them with confidence. Seneca once said, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." Reflection is the antidote to that postponement. It's the conscious pause that keeps you from drifting aimlessly through life, helping you make deliberate choices instead of being swept away by circumstances. To turn this into a habit, start small. At the end of each day, find a quiet moment, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, to think about your actions. Ask yourself what went well, what didn't, and why. Write it down if it helps. Journaling is a powerful tool because it externalizes your thoughts and makes patterns more visible. Over time, this simple ritual becomes a lens through which you view every decision. You'll notice your priorities clarifying, your impulsive actions reducing, and your focus sharpening. And the best part is that this isn't a one-time fix. It compounds. Each day of reflection builds your self-awareness, your discipline, and your ability to navigate challenges with clarity and composure. Daily reflection is also a practice of self-compassion. You're not punishing yourself for mistakes, you're learning from them. You're not dwelling on regrets, you're using them as stepping stones. You're creating a life where your actions are aligned with your values, where your decisions are deliberate, and where your growth is inevitable. It transforms chaos into order, reaction into strategy, and ordinary effort into extraordinary results. So tonight, when the world is quiet and your mind is free from distraction, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself the tough questions. Celebrate the victories, no matter how small. Learn from the missteps, no matter how embarrassing. This simple daily ritual, this Stoic habit, has the power to transform not just your productivity, but your character, your resilience, and ultimately, your destiny. Number 3, focusing on what you can control, ignoring distractions and external opinions. When you truly focus on what you can control, something remarkable happens. Life stops feeling like a relentless storm and starts feeling like a challenge you can actually navigate. Most people spend their days reacting reacting to criticism, reacting to market swings, reacting to what others think or do. But every time you give your energy to something outside your control, you drain yourself. You weaken your focus, dilute your effort, and move further from the life you're capable of building. Imagine for a moment if you could let go of all that noise, the gossip, the judgments, the distractions, and pour your energy into the one thing you can truly influence: yourself, your actions, your decisions. That is the Stoic secret billionaires live by. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The strength he's talking about isn't hypothetical. It's practical. It's a daily muscle you can train. Start with small, deliberate exercises. Every morning, write down 3 things that are fully within your control that you will focus on today. Maybe it's the quality of your work, the clarity of your decisions, or the patience you bring to a conversation. Then, consciously acknowledge the things you cannot control: market trends, other people's opinions, random setbacks, and let them drift out of your mind. Don't dwell. Don't waste another second on them. This practice alone rewires your brain, sharpening your focus and boosting your productivity in ways that no multitasking frenzy ever could. The next step is vigilance. Every time a distraction creeps in, a negative comment on social media, an unexpected change in circumstances, pause and ask yourself, is this mine to control? If the answer is no, release it. Literally, imagine putting it in a balloon and letting it float away. This isn't just a mental trick, it's a habit that builds resilience, clarity, and mental calm. You'll notice that the more you release, the more present you become, and the more powerful your decisions feel. Focusing on what you can control also shields you from the emotional turbulence that drains most people. Billionaires and high achievers are not immune to chaos. They simply refuse to internalize it. They maintain calm not because life is easy, but because they have mastered the art of turning their attention inward toward what they can influence. You can do the same. Choose your reactions, shape your habits, and invest your energy where it counts. Over time, this creates a momentum that compounds, quietly building an unshakable foundation of confidence and effectiveness. Here's a practical exercise to take it deeper. Each evening, reflect on your day and identify one moment where you focused on what you could control and one moment where you didn't. Analyze what distracted you, then set an intention for tomorrow to avoid repeating the same mistake. It's simple, but it's relentless in the way it transforms your mindset. You start seeing the difference in both your mental clarity and your tangible results. Remember, this is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing your battles wisely, filtering your energy through a lens of intentionality, and refusing to let external noise dictate your inner state. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You stop worrying about what people think, stop fretting over random outcomes, and start living deliberately. Every action becomes purposeful, every decision sharper, every day more productive. This is the Stoic secret: the ability to create calm and power in a chaotic world by controlling only what you can. Start today and watch how your focus transforms your life into something far stronger, clearer, and unstoppable. Number 4, embracing voluntary discomfort, building resilience through challenges. Imagine for a moment that life isn't meant to be a smooth, cushioned ride. Most people spend their days avoiding discomfort, chasing comfort, and numbing themselves to the challenges that could actually strengthen them. But here's the truth that billionaires and Stoic philosophers alike have long understood. Embracing voluntary discomfort is one of the fastest, most reliable ways to build unbreakable resilience. Once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he meant is that every difficulty, every deliberate challenge you choose to face, is an opportunity to forge strength, patience, and self-mastery. It's not about seeking suffering for suffering's sake. It's about training yourself to withstand life's inevitable storms, So when the unexpected hits, and it always will, you're unshaken, unafraid, and fully in control of your response. You can start small right now. Choose discomfort intentionally in manageable doses. Wake up earlier than usual. Skip that extra comfort food. Take a cold shower. Sit in silence instead of distracting yourself with your phone. Push yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally in ways that feel slightly uncomfortable. Each time you do, you're rewiring your mind, teaching it that discomfort is not danger, it's growth. You're practicing resilience in the controlled fires of your own making so that when real adversity comes, you don't flinch. You don't crumble. You respond with clarity, with patience, with courage. This practice also sharpens your decision-making. When you are comfortable all the time, your tolerance for uncertainty, delay, and challenge atrophies. Your mind becomes soft, dependent on external conditions to feel secure. By contrast, when you voluntarily face what feels difficult, your inner compass strengthens. You learn to distinguish between fear and prudence, challenge and risk, temporary struggle and permanent harm. You begin to see opportunity where others see obstacles, because your mindset has been trained to thrive in situations most people avoid. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every time you embrace a voluntary challenge, you're building mental muscles, the kind that make billionaires think differently, act decisively, and endure relentlessly. To fully integrate this into your life, start setting deliberate challenges each week. Force yourself to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Reflect afterward on what you learned, how your emotions shifted, and how your perception of discomfort changed. Notice how the anxiety you once felt transforms into confidence, clarity, and calm. Over time, you'll start to crave these exercises, not because they're easy, but because you understand the power they give you, the unshakable steadiness in the face of chaos that separates the average from the extraordinary. Remember, voluntary discomfort isn't about punishment. It's about preparation. It's about building the kind of resilience that allows you to navigate life with composure, wisdom, and unstoppable will. When you willingly step into small, controlled hardships, you're practicing mastery over yourself, your reactions, and your destiny. You're training your mind to be your strongest asset, to remain poised no matter what life throws at you. Start today, make it deliberate, and watch as your capacity for strength, patience, and unbreakable resilience grows in ways you never thought possible. The discomfort you embrace now is the foundation for the power you'll command tomorrow. Number 5, prioritizing long-term vision over short-term gains, thinking in decades, not days. When it comes to true success, the difference between fleeting wins and lasting achievement is often your ability to see decades ahead instead of days. Most people get caught in the trap of instant gratification, chasing results that make them feel good in the moment but don't move the needle in the long run. The Stoics understood this instinctively. Seneca reminded us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Every choice you make today, how you spend your energy, where you invest your attention, even the small habits you practice, shapes the trajectory of your life decades from now. Billionaires think this way naturally, not because they are lucky, but because they have trained themselves to prioritize long-term vision over short-term impulses. Thinking in decades, not days, means refusing to be enslaved by immediate discomfort or fleeting temptation. It means planting seeds now that may take years, sometimes even decades, to bear fruit. It means choosing discipline over indulgence, patience over urgency, and resilience over convenience. When you start framing decisions through this lens, your perspective shifts. Suddenly, the little annoyances, setbacks, and distractions that used to derail you lose their power. You start seeing each day as a stepping stone, every choice as a deliberate act contributing to a much larger structure: your life, your legacy, your future self. To cultivate this mindset, start by creating a personal decade plan. Visualize where you want to be in 10 years, not just financially, but mentally, physically, and spiritually. Break it down into smaller milestones, then ask yourself daily, will this choice bring me closer to that vision, or is it a detour? This exercise trains your mind to evaluate short-term desires against long-term gain. It's the same principle followed when he said, "Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could happen. Stick with the situation at hand. Focus on the immediate actions that serve your long-term goals, not the distractions that pull you sideways." Thinking long-term also means embracing delayed gratification. Every time you resist an impulse to overindulge, procrastinate, or settle for less than you're capable of, you're investing in your future self. You're telling your mind and body that you are in control, that your destiny is worth waiting for, that the next day is not just another day. It's a building block for decades of growth. Incorporate rituals that reinforce this perspective. Journaling your goals each morning, reviewing your decade vision weekly, or setting up systems that automatically support your future self, like saving consistently or scheduling strategic learning time. Remember, prioritizing long-term vision isn't about denying yourself joy in the present. It's about making today's decisions fuel the life you truly want. It's about turning patience into power, foresight into freedom, and discipline into legacy. The more you practice thinking in decades, the more natural it becomes. Every action starts aligning with a higher purpose, and suddenly, short-term distractions lose their grip. You're no longer reacting. You're orchestrating a life designed to thrive not just today, but 20, 30, 40 years from now. That's the Stoic secret the most successful people still rely on. Life is a marathon, not a sprint, and your willpower, your clarity, and your vision determine how far you go. Remember, wisdom isn't just for philosophers. It's the secret weapon of billionaires too. If you take even one of these Stoic principles and apply it consistently, you'll start seeing life and success through a completely new lens. Imagine facing challenges with calm, making decisions with clarity, and attracting opportunities without chasing them. That's the Stoic edge. If this video sparked even a single idea that could change how you approach life, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the tools that can level up your mindset. And here's a challenge for you. Pick one of these secrets and implement it today. Watch how your world shifts. Stay disciplined, stay curious, and remember, true power lies in mastering yourself first. Until next time, think like a Stoic, act like a billionaire, and watch your life transform.